Hello guys, Jake here for FMSCOUT. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys 7 Wonderkids who you can pick up for under £100,000. There'll be a player in here for every level, every budget, and I imagine quite a lot of them are hidden gems that most of you probably won't know. If you're wondering how my day's going, I've just recorded this whole video and forgot to hit record, so this is my second time recording, so let's get straight into it. But before we do, I need to ask you guys, if you haven't already, if you do enjoy the content that you see here today on the FMSCOUT channel, then like the video and comment down below which of these Wonderkids is your favourite. Let me know if you've had any success with the players that we do show, if you've already used them, and if there's someone that we've missed out, then let us know in the comments so that other people can come check the comments out and find some great Wonderkids that they can pick up in their saves. Finally, if you haven't already, then hit the subscribe button on the FMSCOUT channel and ring that notification bell so don't miss out on any of our uploads here on the channel. And now let's get straight into the video and get looking at these 7 players who I think all represent a great deal in their own right. Okay guys, so the first player we're looking at is Canelo. He's a 20-year-old Brazilian playing for Nova Iguaçu. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they are a Brazilian team from the lower divisions in Brazil. Now, he is the honourable mention in the list. I would say he's probably the worst of the bunch. We're going to get him out of the way straight away, but I still think he represents a very nice player for what he is. I mean, he's very cheap, as are all the players in this list, and he can be picked up for around £30,000. Now, his biggest strengths being a right winger are his physical attributes, and he's got some nice traits. So he runs down the ball on the right and gets forward whenever possible. He has some good pace to help him out with that. Good stamina, good natural fitness, that's all good for a 20-year-old winger. He is older than most of the Wonderkids in this list, so he's got less room to develop and actually has a fixed potential range. But he's not slacking in the other departments either, with some very good mental attributes, actually really good mental attributes, and he does need some work in his technicals, but he does have some nice technique and dribbling. Now, before we go into all the players, I will mention that the likelihood is, with most of these players, if you don't have a league loaded, you won't find them. If you don't have it in your database, you're not going to find these players. Some of them are from more relevant leagues, I would say, and some are more out of the way leagues that you might not have loaded. So for the people who can't find these players in your saves, that might be why, but at least stick around because there are some hidden gems in this list from all over the world, so you might have the leagues loaded, and it might even encourage you to install some of these leagues into your saves because some of them are really full of hidden gems that you can pick up in your saves. So we've looked at Canelo, and now let's move on to the next Wonderkid in today's list. Okay, so now we're looking at my second favourite in this list. I'll get into my first favourite a bit further towards the end. I think he is a very good player, but this guy is a very close second. It is Amine. And before we get into him, let me just let you guys know that in the description I do have my own channel. We have a little save going on over there at the minute that a lot of you guys have came over and are really enjoying, so thank you a lot for your support there. We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers and we're not too many episodes in, so if you want to go and check it out and catch up before we get too far into it, then that would mean a lot. But Amine, as I was saying, is a great player. Central midfielder or attacking midfield. The Moroccan 17-year-old is a top prospect for many reasons. Not only because he's got some very nice attributes with some good physicals, really good mentals for his age, and some nice technicals to build upon too, with a great base set to build upon. With the years that he's got of development left, you can definitely mould him into the kind of player you want. He's already got some caps for the Moroccan under-20 team, but that is not the best thing about this guy. We all love a cheap Wonderkid, but it doesn't get any better than this. He plays for a team called Academy Mohammed 6. I think that's 6. I'm not too good on my Roman numerals, but they're a team in Morocco, but you might notice they are amateur. Now what that means is you can go and offer literally 0 and this will be accepted. You'll get this guy who will cost you nothing other than the wage that you'll pay him, and he's not even on a contract at the minute, so I don't think he's going to expect to be paid too much money considering he's never been paid for football in his life. But I think he's a great player, whether you're a lower league side looking for a player for your midfield, or whether you're a top division side who want to pick someone up for your youth team, either to feature in your team in the future maybe, or most likely if you're a bigger team, sell him for a profit once he's developed. One of my favourite gems on this list, and there's plenty more to come, so that is Amine, the 17-year-old Moroccan, and now let's move on to the next player. Now we have one of 2 Syrian players in this list. Yeah, you heard that right, Syrian players. Again, this is what I'm saying about the leagues. If you want to load a league for your saves, Syria might be a good one to do because every time I make one of these Wonderkid videos, it seems to feature a Syrian player. Mahmoud Al-Aswad is the player we're looking at here, and he featured in a video I did previously because he's just so good and so cheap too. He's 17 years old, Syrian as I did mention, playing in the Syrian league for Al-Kamara Sporting Club. He plays on the right wing or attacking midfield, which is probably where I would prefer him, to be honest. Physically, he's not amazing, but he's not bad either. He's got a decent bit of pace, which is fine for his age. Again, you're not going to get your Mbappes and your Haalands, your Ronaldos from these like under 100k players, but you are going to get some nice little gems who might feature for your team, or you might sell them on for a profit. It depends what kind of level you're at, but mentally, he's got some very nice mental attributes. If he does have this kind of determination in your save, definitely pick him up. And technically, he's got a good base set with technique, passing and first touch at a decent level. Actually, passing and technique at a very good level alongside some nice work rate. If we were to develop his vision a bit, maybe his decision making, maybe for a bit of mentoring or training, he would really make a very good player come the age of 2021. So that could be something you guys want to do. He can be bought for very cheap too. Our squad can be picked up for about 10k to 14k, anywhere around there, and I think you get a very good player for your money. So that's Mahmoud Al Aswad, one of two Syrians. We'll get onto the other one later, but let's move on to the next player on our list. And now we're looking at Wisdom Ubani. He's one that I do really like in this list. He's not my favourite, stick around for that one, but he is a good player, 17 years old, a striker, Nigerian, playing for Giant Brillas in the Nigerian second division. Again, chances are you might not have this league loaded, so if you don't, then it could be a good idea. A lot of these African leagues do have some very cheap gems in because they don't really ask for much from their players, so he could be someone that you guys try to sign in your save. Physically, pretty good for a striker. Again, he's not going to be amazing, but 17 years old, he's going to have a bit of growth. These will most likely be 15s by the time he gets to 2021. And then mentally, again, he needs a bit of work, but he's got some good technicals for a striker with some good first touch, finishing, heading and technique. For the level that he's playing at, they are some very good attributes. Of course he needs some work. Most of the players on this list are going to. Ubani is someone that we've talked about for quite a while in Football Manager. There are 7 players in this list, and I think 3 or 4 of them have been upgraded in the FM21 Winter Update, and I think Ubani is a very nice player. He's been good throughout the whole of FM21, and I think he represents a really nice value option if you are playing in the lower leagues. Ubani can be picked up for a measly £50,000, somewhere between 20 and 70k, so let's just say 50. He is a very good player for the price. You're going to make your money back if you sell him on, and if he works out for you, then you've got a very nice striker on your hands. 3 players to go in this list. My favourite one is coming up next, but this is another Syrian that I promised you guys. Again, Syrian leagues are very good for Wonderkids. We've got a 15-year-old Anis Kassem playing for Tishreen in the Premier League of Syria. He's a striker, and because he's 15, he's got the best thing on his side, which is age. Of course, he's got plenty of time to develop. 6 years until he's 21 here, so lots of room to grow, and you can really mould him into whatever kind of player you're after. Because he is so young, his attributes aren't so well moulded just yet, but that does give you room to fiddle about, train with what you want, and make sure that you get the kind of player you're looking for. Physically, he's got some nice attributes to start upon. 4 green attributes at his age is perfectly fine, alongside some nice determination in the save, but overall, his mentals do need a bit of work. And he's got some nice finishing, and for his age, technique is not bad either. He's not going to be the world's best, but with a bit of development, he could definitely become a good level striker. In 3-4 years time, he's going to look completely different to what you're seeing here now. Most of these 10s, 9s and 8s will be 11s, 12s, 13s, and he'll just be full of greens. And for the kind of money that you pay for this guy, definitely worth the investment, I would say. You can pick him up for around £5,000. He would likely be, in a few years, the jewel of your youth academy. So he's definitely someone to keep an eye on if you have a league loaded, and could definitely do a job for some of the lower division teams after a couple of years of development. So that is Anis Kassem. We've got 2 players left in this list. My favourite one coming up, so let's check him out now. And here he is, guys. It's Joseph Adete. Now we're going to get into how good he is in a second, but he is an 18-year-old Ghanaian playing for the Mighty Jets in the First Division Zone 3 of Ghana. I'm not too clued up on my Ghanaian league structure, so I don't exactly know how that is, if that's a lower division or a high division. They're semi-professional, so I assume it's not the highest division in Ghana, but he's 18 years old and he's doing very well for himself, and Mighty Jets have done a very good job keeping him under the radar, because there is not much wrong with this guy at all, and I would suggest that he could at least play at championship level near enough instantly, and he can be signed for so cheap. Around £30,000 will net you guys this player, and physically he's pretty good. I don't want to say pretty good, I'd say he's great. 6'1", and he's quick with a nice bit of strength. Can't really go wrong there, and some nice jumping reach. Great start. Mentally, he doesn't lack either. He's got some great attributes from work rate, so he can get up and down that left-hand side. He's got good teamwork, good positioning, really good determination and decisions, as well as some aggression. And you think, okay, it's going to stop there. He's going to be really bad technically, right? No, not at all. He's got good tackling, good passing, good marking, good long shots, which is a nice bonus. And for a left-back, he has a very good crossing attribute. Yes, he needs a bit of work, but I would say straight away, he is championship level and could definitely reach Premier League level in the future. Maybe work on his technique a bit, but his passing is at a higher level than some of the midfielders we've looked at. Really can't go wrong. Is a suggestion that you could retrain him for a different position, but left back for me had a trait of him getting forward, 6'1" left back with a bit of pace and good crossing, bursting up and down that line. You really can't go wrong for the price you're paying. I really like this guy, and I would definitely consider signing him in some of my saves. What a star this guy is, my favourite player in this list. And now let's finish it off with a standout player from FM21 in this cheap price bracket that we're looking at here. And the player we're looking at is Miguel Rodriguez, who goes from strength to strength in Football Manager. Before we get into him, if you have enjoyed the video so far, then smash the like button. Have you enjoyed the Wonderkids so far? I think these are some really great players for the price you can get them for. Now, the best thing about him is the fact that he's probably going to be in most people's saves, because you might not have a Nigerian and the Syrian leagues loaded, but the chances are you'll have a Spanish league. He plays for Vigo's B team. Vigo are a first division side too, so hopefully he will be in most of your saves if you have the Spanish divisions loaded. He's a 17-year-old right winger with a really good set of base attributes for his age, and he is super cheap too. You can pick Miguel Rodriguez up for £86,000 thanks to a cheeky release clause, so that might be removed a few months into the save if they give him a new contract, but straight away that release clause is available. You're getting a right winger who is good physically in pretty much all the areas you need him to be. Highlighted are the areas that he needs for his position, and you can see that each one is pretty much green. I mean, off the ball, very good. Flair, very good. Anticipation needs a bit of work. He's got good crossing, needs a bit of work in his dribbling, but he's got some nice finishing as a bonus in there. Good first touch, good passing, good technique. Can't go wrong with this guy for the price you're paying. I mean, you can even see it here. Even if you were to sell him for his value, you'd be making way more than what you're paying for him. His value is £250,000. If he didn't have a release clause, likelihood is Vigo would want £1 million plus. He's going to cost you 86 grand. Develop him for a couple of years. You've got a 19-year-old right winger who's probably going to be playing for the Spanish youth teams and all that good stuff. So he really is worth picking up, I would say. A lot of you guys are probably going to have that money lying around in your budget. I know some of the super low division teams won't be able to pick all of these players up. I mean, I've showed you a player that you can pick up for £0, and I've showed you a player that you can pick up for near enough 100 grand. So there's a real spectrum here of the kind of players you can pick up. I would suggest most teams could easily sign most of these players and get some really good profit out of them, or they could actually be a great player for their side. I also really appreciate the fact that a lot of these Wonderkids are from different nations and players that you might not often use. We all go for the usual, Mbappe's, Haaland's in the past. These are the kind of players that are different and you might not have used them before, and that for me is one of the best parts of Football Manager. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video and you found some useful players out of this. If you take anything away from this, maybe if you're starting up a save, if your computer can handle it, add a couple more leagues in there. You might find some more hidden gems that I haven't even got in this video, but hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, smash the like button, comment down below which of these guys you liked, if you've had any success with them, and who we missed out so other people can see it in the comments. Subscribe and hit the notification bell on the FMSCOUT channel if you haven't already. Feel free to come check out my channel, linked in the description. I think that's everything, so thank you for watching guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.